My name's Antonio Guerrero Jr. I'm a registered nurse in the Victory unit.
So what inspired you to become a nurse?
Well, I guess my mother. My mother was a nurse aide. She passed away already. I started working with her when I was 18. She worked at a nursing home, and the other nurses encouraged me to become a nurse. But ever since then, I've been an RN 38 years. And from there, I went to other areas, OR, supervised different hospitals. When I started working here at SABH, I started working with this Unit C. Basically there, it's more watch out, look for the patient. They asked me to go to Victory one time. I was inspired by the patients that came there, they volunteered first of all. And I noticed that when I was listening to them, when they was in groups, I could relate to they were talking about what they go through because everybody has depression to a certain point. And I saw the changes as they went through the 28-day program. They came with this type of flat effect. And after they left, it was a totally complete person change. You know, they talked about how they felt. And it got to a point that they made me cry, you know, when they were leaving. Yeah, so I felt I made a difference. Even though I'm a very abrupt nurse, I go through the policy of the hospital, always upheld them, and some of them didn't like the way my approach was, but it was for a reason, right? So, and I like that, so I stayed. Being a nurse means that to do everything. Bring waters, bathrooms clogged, I unclogged it. I learn every day anyway. I learn more.
You never stop learning?
No. Typical days, basically I get to work at 6:30. We do vital signs on the patients from 6:30 to all the way to 7:30. If we got a new patient overnight, make sure the patient has a handbook for the patient, for the unit. Go over the policies of the unit, explain it to them, especially if you get a brand new patient overnight that they are anxious, they don't know where they're at. Be friendly, ask them if they need something. Go check the unit, go check the rooms, make sure they have their breakfast. If not, go get breakfast for them. And look at the orders that are from the doctors that have given them. And if you have some patients that are going to be ready to go home that day, try to make everything. They get their medicines 3 days worth. They're 10 a.m. to 12 groups. Make sure the phones are turned in because they get their cell phones at 7. They turn in at 7:30. By 9, they have to turn them in. They can keep them if they're going to go to gym and work out, because we're encouraging them to exercise. Because they're military. We don't force anything on them, but it's part of them to the energy they have or put their minds to something else. When you open up, you release that anxiety. And our therapists, which is very good, they're great. They encourage the patients. They have other avenues of dealing with their issues. Well, for example, safety priority. Make sure that they abide by the policies of the hospital. For example, no phones in the rooms, paper towels or anything with strings to prevent any type of, self-harm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
And we see the patients, how they look. We have to assess the patient on a daily basis. But instead of me asking them, how do you feel anxious? What's your anxiety level? What's your pain level or depression level? I look at their behavior. I look at their behavior, and that tells me if they're depressed or not depressed or anxiety. And you act on those things. You talk to them on the side, pull them aside, and take them on a one-to-one and talk to them. If you feel targeted, you can get out of the group room and open up and talk, right? But it's not, if you're targeted, it hits you a point. It hits that conversation they're having, you feel it. And so you act upon that. And so you can relate to that. People that come and get help are crazy. That's the mentality of some people have.
Yeah, that's kind of the
and that's not it.
general culture.
Yeah, we have to make them understand you're going through issues and we're here to help you. You have thoughts of suicide ideation and you're afraid to open up and say what are you going through.
Of course.
So people think you do that and they see you like you're very vulnerable, weak, and especially in the military.
Yeah.
And so you have to get them away from that mentality so they can become better. We have a journaling class, and we try to journaling because when they get to the unit, we give them a journal. We pick a patient handbook, and we explain to them what if they have thoughts of anything, write them down. We even questions for your doctor, and we ask those questions to your doctor. That way, you don't have to tell me, but the doctor can deal with it. 1 or 2 days, like some of them, they say, I don't belong in this place. It's totally, but you'll see the change. It's like I said, I was thinking I didn't belong in this place. And they realized at the end that, yes, they made real good and helped me to be able to relate to my family, to be in the military. And that makes us see that we did a good job. You're not alone. There's multiple people that have issues. When they leave, we tell the patients about how we saw them change. And I said, I'm sorry I was so tough with you during your stay here, but I did it for a reason. And the good thing about it is I get a feedback from them saying, no, Tony, thank you so much, because I think you had to do that for me to become better.
Right, like they needed that.
Yes.
You know, yeah, and you see that a lot.
Yeah, and most of them like, are younger and everything. I feel them like they're my kids. And one thing I have to tell them is that I cannot say I know what you're going through, because nobody knows what you're going through. All it takes is just a call or for help, and just be reassured that we will be there to help you. If we don't understand you, we'll get somebody else that can understand you, but you're not alone. You have someone here as SABH to help you out, you know.